I wanted to get some ice.
You're fired. How long you been sitting here? That's why I was cursing you multiple
You're definitely fired. This poor band is working so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Here you are like, let me get some ice. Like,
don't
You're gonna be like that the whole time, right? Really laid back?
Yeah.
Like, so far from the micro. Two guys, one girl podcast.
I want to be called like a train.
Let's get a shout out to Creative. My boy Eddie, the setup and everything.
Yeah,
with his professional ass. So, first episode, crazy, right? We've been talking about this forever, but we finally put it into gear.
3 years.
Yeah, it's forever.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're going to introduce my boy, Bruce Lightyear. For those who know it, the homie, Victoria. Is that what we going to go by? Just Victoria? Or?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they all can think of some nicknames for me.
Okay.
I guess something a little bit more special.
Icky Vicky.
Absolutely. Fucking not.
Icky Vicky.
And then your boy Armel, the realtor, capitalized on the real tour.
Real tour. All right, first episode of the No Name Podcast.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like one of the things we talked about already, not to be rehearsed or whatever, but we didn't quite finish the conversation. We were talking about tattoos.
Oh my God.
And the reason why I come up, because this guy, he's a freaking ex-tattoo artist, so he might be a little bit biased from it. And but I believe that it literally should be illegal for anybody to get a tattoo under the age of 18, regardless of parent consent. The reason why is because think about, like, for those of you that are beyond 18, think about all the dumb shit you thought about when you was 14, 15, 16. Do you think that's really a good time to decide to put a permanent picture or name or word on your body? That's not a good time. And I get that your parent could consent, but we got a lot of parents sometimes that got very little sense over their kids. So,
Yeah.
so what if the parent like consent? You know what I'm saying? It's like
They also have terrible judgment.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like I personally feel like that you can't make those decisions yet. I mean, even 18 is young, but 18 is when you're supposed to be grown. So that's when I feel like you should be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I don't think it should be illegal per se, but I probably don't think it's good to give like a minor a tattoo regardless of consent or not. Like you said, it's just our brains aren't fully developed. You think, oh, this is gonna be great to get a unicorn on my back, and I'm so sorry to people who have unicorns on their back, but like, probably not the best thing. But I think, yeah, like once you're 18, you can do it, but I don't think it should be illegal. That's like super far.
That's not a
far
punishable
out.
crime. Like there's so many other things that don't go punished. Like, that's kind of...
So it would be punished not to the person that got the tattoo, but to the person that's performing it.
No, because as an ex-tattoo artist, like, why am I going to get punished because someone's mom said they can get a tattoo?
So here's the deal. Like, if it just would, the goal is to deter. So, like, if you just happen to do tattoos and you get it put on some kid or whatever like that, like, you wouldn't get fined. But if you're like a licensed tattoo artist, I don't think that someone should be able to go into a shop and do it. You know what I mean?
I feel like, as a parent, if you walk your child in there to get a tattoo, the tattoo artist says, oh, you're the mom, they check IDs, they get it signed, I feel like you're good. So my thing is that not everybody under 18 is like a dumbass.
Yeah, but most of them aren't. And I mean, I can speak from experience, okay? Listen, I was under 18 at once. But, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Like, most of my tattoos I got my first tattoo on my 18th birthday. And then that whole, from 18 to 19. But all of my tattoos are, like, meaningful. Like, they mean something to me.
But you got them at 18, though.
Because I waited so long to be legal. Like, when I'm 18.
That you had time to think about it.
Exactly.
Like, do I want this shit on my body or not?
I don't know. Like, I told you guys last time, like, my uncle got his first tattoo before 18. When he was in a Catholic school, like, and my grandma, who's very Catholic, took him to get his tattoo, and it's a Bible scripture, before 18. Like, my uncle, my grandma, or the tattoo artist shouldn't be, like, punished, or shouldn't be illegal, because that's not bad. Now, like, we were talking about Bad Baby, who got, like, the rappers.
Right.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupid, but in the end, like, that was her choice. That was her dumbass mistake.
Well, and also, she was so young. I mean, she's what, like 15?
I think she's 16.
Okay.
It's not
But she
better
still
to
got
say
them, I think, when she was like 15, 14, however. Like, that's super, super young. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I don't think it should be illegal, punishable. But I do think that that's something that's permanent. It's not a piercing. It's not the same thing as that, because you can take piercings out, you know, whatever. But a tattoo is...
You can get
I mean, yeah, but it's not like, but lasering your tattoo later on takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and
But
it's
it
not even
also
100% guaranteed.
It took money. So this is my thing. I feel like it's to each his own. Like, if you're a dumbass, you get a dumbass tattoo, your dumbass is gonna suffer.
Suffer the consequences.
But that's not fair though, because
But
like
it is fair, 'cause
children
it's not-
are dumbasses a lot of times.
So then the child is gonna grow up with a dumbass tattoo. There's a memory of their dumbass.
I don't think that should happen. Like
I feel like it's not my child. It's not your child. It's not your child. Let the dumbass child get whatever tattoo they want to get. I know, for
This
me,
guy.
I know, like, I used to beg my dad and his wife to get a tattoo. And my dad didn't care, because my dad knows I'm not a dumbass. My dad trusted my judgment and liked the tattoos that I designed myself. And he knew I'm not going to regret them. His wife was just an asshole and made me wait until I was 18. So literally on my 18th birthday, I had the artist come to my house and tattoo me. Like, I timed it perfectly, like where she came home and I'm getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
I want her to know, like, I'm 18. You can't say shit anymore. Like, but
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're also like one exception to the rule. You know?
I mean,
yeah, but I feel like that's my point, is that there's more people like me.
But
It may
there's
be a majority of dumbasses.
okay.
but
There we go.
It would suck for the people like me with my judgment who actually put thought into what they're getting tattooed.
But like also, like what's the problem with waiting until you're 18? Like, the shit's gonna be on your body forever. Like, whether you have it at
Sometimes
16,
you just wanna
18,
do
30, 40, like, you're gonna get it eventually.
Sometimes you
know
just
what
want to do shit. Like, you can't rent a car until you're 25. That's dumb as fuck. That's dumb as fuck.
So like
Stuff like that is like dumb.
So I agree with that too.
Age limits on stuff.
So I would agree with that too. So my thing is 18 should be the magical age for everything. I think that you should be able to drink when you're 18. The reason why is because we send people off to war when they're 18.
Right, they
I've
can
actually,
die,
exactly.
but they can't have a beer.
But you can't have a drink. I've actually kicked it with homies that came back from like Iraq and shit like that, and they couldn't go to the bar with me because they're 20. Like, that's stupid to me.
Yeah.
So like, even like I get why they do the car rental and insurance and stuff like that, but like car rental, I think you should be able to rent when you're 18. If they're going to charge you a premium because your age, then do that, but don't restrict it off.
So then what if they did that? Like, you have to pay extra to get a tattoo if you're like something like that. It'll deter people because the parents probably aren't paying for those tattoos. It's the kids who are getting the money and then getting the parents' permission. So what if you're under 18, you have to pay an extra deposit?
So that would be a start. That'd be something better. But the thing is, it's not just about to make it more money out of it, but it's to
Right, like I think it still negates
yeah.
why
So when we
you shouldn't get one before
we
you're
just
18.
went to Ralph's. We seen this dude whose whole face was tattooed, like whole face, like the shit looks scary. Like, what if this motherfucker? What if somebody let their kid do that? What if somebody just didn't care about their kid like that? Or you can do whatever you want. And they let their kid like get a whole face full of tattoos, like.
And that's on the parent.
Yeah, and the
child.
kid. That's true. Like, going back to your point, it's like they're the ones that are gonna have to deal with that if they don't like their whole face.
I'm not gonna let my
tattooed.
child do that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. None of us in here would do that.
Yeah, but I think also, like, it should be the artist's responsibility just to make sure, like, these people are of sound mind, they're making the right decision, like, and I know a lot of artists do that, you know what I'm saying? They ask, like, are you sure you, I knew you were gonna say that. They do ask, like, are you sure you want this name, are you sure you want this? Like, they kind of do their
Like I
due
said, like, I'm
diligence.
not comfortable doing that.
Right, yeah, or some exactly are just flat out not comfortable. They'll tell their clients that, which I think is really good. I don't think it's all about money sometimes with certain artists. It's like, that's their work that's gonna be on someone's body forever. And if I was an artist, I would wanna make sure, like, I'm proud of every single tattoo that I did, that it was the right thing for that person. Not that I can make judgment calls on what they can get, but just make sure, like, you know, if this is really what you want, then I'll do it for you, but, you know, think about it. About stereotypes that I've always thought is, like, stereotypes exist for a reason. Not saying they're all true, but it's like, I've always wondered, how do these stereotypes come about? And some of them I do think exist for a certain reason, but not everyone's gonna fit into a typical stereotype. So obviously, as black men, you know, a lot of us know, like, black people love fried chicken, Kool-Aid, watermelon. Y'all got big dicks, like, which, you know, I can attest to that. But, you know, the other ones, I just need y'all to fill me in.
That is kind of it. Because they say black guys have big dicks, but then big niggas are known for having little dicks. That's not.
Really?
I'm not even trying to say, like, I have a big dick. But, like, yeah. You never heard that before?
No.
Yeah.
Like, all big guys in general, or like big black
No,
men?
they say, no, like any ethnicity, race, yeah.
Any just like bigger.
They say have little dicks. Nah, I've always hated that. It's still a little dick gang.
Oh my god.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, so black people like fried chicken. I do like fried chicken. I don't look at it because I'm a black thing, but if some fried chicken is good, it's good. I don't have to have fried chicken.
Yeah.
Like, when I cook, I never fry chicken. I bake my chicken. You know what I mean? And then, like, the whole watermelon thing. Watermelon is good. I mean, who don't like watermelon on a hot day or something like that? But I don't buy watermelon like that.
Yeah.
The closest I couldn't buy, like, you see a little fruit man on the corner, and I'm getting, like, a dish with fruit in there. Yes, you can put watermelon in there, too. But, like, I don't be at no grocery store going to buy a watermelon.
I think my dad is, like, the only black person I know who actually buys watermelon.
So my ex-girlfriend bought watermelon. Like, she'd be in the grocery store smacking the side and shit of it.
She black bars.
They said that's how you supposed to tell if it's sweet or not. I don't know, but, like...
So what if you smack it and it's hard? Or, like, how...
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's a sound if it sounds hollow or some shit, or I don't know. I just distinctly remember her, like, grabbing different ones and, like, smacking them, and then she'd pick one.
Black. I've never heard or seen that before.
I used to actually...
I've heard of that, like slapping it, but I mean, I've never done it because I don't know what the hell I'm listening for. So it's like, I'm just gonna pick the one that I think aesthetically looks the best.
Smacking it like trying to hear, like, that's the weirdest part. I would love to see that though.
I'm gonna look for that next time I'm at the grocery store. I'm sure everyone now is gonna be like passing by, like,
I mean,
let me
it's
check
like
this watermelon section out real quick.
It's like the thing, like, it's like avocados, you know what I'm saying? Like, you squeeze them. And that's what you cover, like, that.
That's facts.
So, like, look, I thought I did something before, then I thought about it later on. So, like, I was buying an avocado. And I don't buy avocados like that. So, I was looking around, and I found this Hispanic lady. So, I went to her, I was like, hey, I'm sorry to ask, but, like, how do I know if this is, like, a good avocado? And she was dope. She told me, like, oh, you want to look for this, and it has to be this fineness, blah, blah, blah. You should be able to squeeze a little bit. She helped me pick out a few good ones, and I appreciate it. And I thought about it, I was like, man, like, was that racist? Because I looked for her.
I was thinking that the whole time.
But look, but look, like, I knew she was going to know. Like, I ain't going to ask no white chick. Like, she might not know, and I'm trying to get a good avocado. But then I thought about it, like, what if, like, I was walking by, and she was like, hey, like, how do I know, like, which one's the good watermelon? Like, and I was like, I don't know, like, you supposed to smack that shit or something.
Yeah, you do. You know.
So, like, you know, like, I don't know. It's like, we all have those stereotypes, and, like, none of us want to, like, admit it, and, like, we don't want to go too far or whatever, but, like, and this is no disrespect, because I have quite a few Asian homies or whatever, but, like, but, like, if you know somebody that's Asian, like, are you going to ask her to help you with your driver test?
No. I mean, unless they're Japanese.
I mean,
Tokyo Drift. They can drive.
I
I mean,
this
like,
man over here.
I mean, I have Asian homies that make jokes about it themselves, about like driving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
when you said Asian homies, I thought you were gonna say like you gonna ask me to have a little dick.
I thought you were gonna do like a noodles thing or like sushi or something. But I mean, I think that like also kind of stems into the whole like we're so overly politically correct right now that it's like we think about that shit, but like in the past, like you would never think so deeply about that. Like asking the Hispanic woman about
Everybody's
avocados.
sensitive.
Yeah, it's
Everybody
like
is sensitive.
so overly sensitive. Like I find myself too like thinking about things in my head, or you know, like having fake interviews in my head and shit when I'm talking to myself. And it's like everybody can turn anything into like a racial thing, a sexist thing, a patriarchal, a matriarchal, like whatever the whole thing is. It's like now you almost can't say shit without somebody being offended.
And it's bad when it's like that with your friends too. Like you're afraid to say something to the homie. He might tell you the type of way like that. I don't want anybody in my life that I cannot just completely unfiltered.
Right. And I feel like there's a point of like really being blatantly racist or like blatantly disrespectful, but like asking her to help you with an avocado, like that's for me, like I wouldn't be offended by that, you know. It is what it is. But some people really take that shit to the next level all the time. It's like, goddamn, I can't talk to anybody anymore because someone's gonna say shit about it.
I had a lady ask me to help her grab something off a shelf, and we were laughing. And she's like, no, it's not because you're black. She's like, it's because you're tall. I was like, I didn't even think that. I'm taller than everybody else. Like,
You can only ask black people to help you get shit off the top shelf. Like, what?
I was like,
What?
That would have never crossed my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Tall.
But that's like what our society now is about. It's just like being so overly politically correct or digging up dirt from fucking 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Like,
I love that shit. It's funny.
That shit
Cancel
is
culture. That shit is hilarious.
That shit is so crazy. Did y'all watch Dave Chappelle's new special?
Yeah.
Where he basically kind of talks about that shit. And of course, people are so upset about what he's saying with like the trans community, like the queer community. I mean, you know it's Dave Chappelle. Like, don't watch it. Like, don't watch the special.
It's almost like people watch it so they could get mad.
So they can get mad. Yes. People look for reasons now to be mad about something or to hate on people for something. Like, listen, I got a lot of gay friends, a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community, and I love them and I respect them, and I would never, you know, say anything to, you know, offend them. But, you know, he's a comedian. Like, that's his job. That's what he does. It's like, at what point are we going to let people, like, live their life?
I feel like that's what comedians are for. To turn, like, a fucked up situation into something that you can laugh about. Like, they put some ease on it, like making jokes about Katrina or Trump or something. Like, you need...
Well, he's a joke, so...
But you need laughter in, like, hard times like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't take it, then don't come here. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
They should have, like, a PC comedy club for all the sensitive people.
Facts. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's totally...
But then, could you imagine that, though? I mean, like, what would be said at that point?
Nothing.
Nothing. Because, like, you can't say nothing. Like, somebody could get mad about anything.
Knock.
Like,
Be trash that shit.
no, you say knock, and somebody gonna be like, no, I'm handicapped. I can't knock. So you're excluding me from it. Like,
I have no hands.
Sorry.
I can't knock on anything.
there's always something. Like,
It is always something.
I get it. Like, I mean, sometimes people do go too far, and like,
Yeah.
There's no such thing as too far.
So I'm talking about in like intention, like, you know what I mean. Like, comedy is comedy, and you got to kind of like understand that's their job, and I get
Take
that.
it back, so.
But I'm talking about like sometimes, like, you know, people want to use that they're not a professional comedian, and they want to be like, oh, everyone gets so sensitive about stuff like that. But if you're in a place, say if you're like at the Special Olympics and you up there like making fun of people in a wheelchair or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like, you gotta kind of have like some like common sense or respect about when you do and when you say stuff.
There's
I
a
think it's
place
about
and time
intent.
for it. Yeah,
It's about
exactly.
intent.
It's a place and time.
There's a place and time for that.
I don't like place and time. It's usually time and place.
We have a friend.
Okay. Let me be PC about time and place now. I'm sorry. Shit.
We have a friend who he's made this joke multiple times. Pirellis are?
Pirellis?
Pirellis.
No,
like
what
the
are...
tires. So Pirellis are like a common or popular brand of tires that are usually on like sports cars.
Okay.
So we're in Vegas and there's a guy in a wheelchair. He's like, damn, he got some fresh Pirelli. He's like, this stuff like that is funny, but it's time and place. Like if you said that at the Special Olympics, it'd be like, oh, I would still laugh, but the people around us probably worry if you're sensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be around sensitive people.
Yeah.
So, I know your ethnicity is all over the place. I get confused. I know you white, but you speak fluent Spanish, so you kind of Latina, or I don't know. But what type of stereotypes do you think you face?
You like black guys?
Do I?
Is that
yes.
Is that like a stereotype? All white girls like black guys.
I don't know, maybe.
As a black man, I've heard that stereotype.
No, I mean, I know what you're talking about. And I mean, I do love black men. Like historically, my dating history has been with mostly black men or, you know, brown men if they're like Puerto Rican or, you know, Hispanic or something like that. But I mean, I don't judge really based on race. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't really face anything like that. I mean, people always tell me like, oh, I thought you were just a white girl, like when I start speaking Spanish, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I fucking am, like I look white, like I really am white, but it just so happens that my parents grew up in South America, and that's the culture that I grew up with, and that's the culture that I like see myself with more than just being like a white person. And like how I grew up too was very not like the typical American way. Like when I was 18, you know, a lot of American parents are like, oh, fuck it, like go to college, like you're off my books, like I'm not paying for shit, like bye, like I don't want to see you. But like with a lot of different Latino cultures, like it's a thing that you can really stay in the household until whenever. My mom would love like if I lived with her even to this day. And she always used to use like the thing like when I wanted to get my tattoo or whatever, or even live with my boyfriend now, she was like, I gave you the chance to like be white or be Latina, and you chose to be Latina, like you can't do that, and blah blah blah, and all this kind of shit. But I mean, I don't know, I feel like I don't face as many stereotypes or issues that maybe like you guys would.
Do you think you get to participate in white privilege?
I mean, like obviously me just looking white, yeah, but I don't want to say that I grew up from that, yeah, because my parents worked really, really hard to get to where they are. You know, like they came to America at 19, they learned English together, like both of them went to college, like, and they have really good careers, and you know, they raised us off of really good like principles, ethic, morals, values. So it wasn't just like I popped out of the womb and I was like, white privilege, bitch, right here. You know, like it was like it wasn't like that. But I do know that looking like I look, there's already privilege or a stigma there. But again, it comes from the hard work of my parents who were immigrants.
Do your parents both look like white, or do they look like...
No, my dad looks white because really like his nationality is Hungarian. So he looks kind of like a white guy. But my mom, like, I consider her like a brown person. Like, I don't think, to me, she doesn't look white. Like, I'm definitely way fairer than her. And if my mom's in the sun for like 5 minutes, like, she gets really, really dark. Yeah. And everybody knows, like, you can hear my parents' accent. So it's like, and if anybody meets them, they're not gonna be like, oh, like, you're from the States. Like, clearly we know you're from a Latino country or something like that. But, I don't know. It's been pretty good for me. I can't really complain, shit.
You and your privilege.
Yeah. Me and my privilege over here.
Nicki Minaj said that on the Joe Budden podcast. I should be dying.
I know.
I don't want to hear anything from you and your privilege.
Yeah, I mean, no, like, I was afforded a really great life, and it was all due to the hard work of my parents. So, you know, and they raised me to, like, also want to work really hard to get to where I want to be, and, yeah, be where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know about you, like, how did you guys grow up? I'm sure it was way fucking different than me.
So, I mean, my grandma's Panamanian, like, born in Panama. Like, all my family is born in Panama. My mom was the first one born in the States. I'm second generation. So
Does your mom speak Spanish?
yeah,
Yeah.
my whole family, even like my uncle learned Spanish now and it annoys the fuck out of me because now I'm like really the only one that learns
Speak it.
Yeah, it's kind of trash. I gotta catch up. Like whenever I date a chick, like that's one thing I joke about, but I'm serious. Like you gotta teach me Spanish, and like I'll learn a little bit, and then
My man says that too, and it's just like
I
it takes
actually
a
try
long
though.
time. Do you?
It does.
You
It
should.
does take a long time.
You should, because I really want my kids to grow up with those languages. So, like, my mom's parents, so I'm like half Italian, half Hungarian, but then my parents and all my aunts and uncles, like, grew up in Venezuela. But, so, like, growing up, I lived with my, like, Italian grandparents, or lived in the area of my Italian grandparents, so they don't speak any English. So, it was always Italian and Spanish. So, I can understand Italian, but I would respond back, like, in Spanish to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so important. And then my parents at the house were always like, you need to speak Spanish here, you know, blah, 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 blah. And it's funny because I talk to some people here now with some of my like Mexican friends or coworkers, and they tell me that a lot of the parents now don't teach their kids Spanish because they want their kids to like assimilate into the culture better.
Society,
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is awful because that's our culture.
Yes.
Like the language is beautiful. Like it's such a benefit to know another language.
So you get jobs when you're bilingual.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it's really sad that these people think, you know, no, my kid needs to speak English so that they can assimilate into the culture and have better opportunities, not even knowing that they could learn both languages and be better off that way. So I really want my kids to know that. And I've already told my mom, I was like, you need to speak Italian and Spanish to my kids. I'll speak Spanish to my kids, but I want to grow up the same way that I grew up because for me, it's really important to have that culture effect on my kids.
I feel like most parents are like that because they know the shit that they deal with. Like, I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember seeing videos on Facebook with like white kids or white women like talking shit to Hispanic women. Like, oh, go back to your country, you speak English. And I remember praying that somebody did that to my grandma, and I prayed so hard that it actually happened. And we were at Ralph's.
What?
And this guy told my grandma, she has a Panamanian flag in her car. And he was like, what kind of Mexican are you?
I hate when people say that shit.
He got his ass beat. He got his ass beat. I don't
Well
fuck with that kind of
deserved.
shit. That shit is
Yeah,
cool.
it's like awful. It's like, first of all, this ain't none of y'all's country. Let's just state that. And I feel like people talk about this, but I don't know why people don't fully absorb it. Like all these like white supremacists and shit, like the immigrants need to go back to their country. Like this wasn't your country at all. This was the Native Americans' country and a lot of the Mexicans. Like
Asians,
a lot. Yeah.
Asians, they were brought over.
Yeah. Right? It's just like ridiculous. Like that whole argument of like immigrants need to go back to where they came from. Like, first of all, y'all brought most of the people over here. And second of all, you fucking killed. Yeah. You killed or kicked out all the people that were actually from here.
Facts.
You know, it's just so sad and ridiculous.
They have Trump. Trump is racist. And they feel like if that's our president, now we can. If he can speak like that, we can speak like that.
I agree.
And that is, a lot of people are going to get punished for that.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's a little bitch.
Yeah. I feel like it was scary because like when he was like up for candidacy, like in the first presidential run, like I really felt like a lot of those maybe like secret white supremacists or people that, you know, were racist but didn't really say anything in public. Like it almost made them confident enough to come out and say shit out loud to people. And I'm like,
and the bad part about that shows you like they didn't just start thinking that stuff that they thought the whole time and was quiet about. So I got a good question for you. Like you being like white, like do you ever get other white people saying stuff around you because they're comfortable because they're thinking like, oh, we all white here, so I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, when I was an intern at a Walgreens, I had it, and this was when I lived in North Carolina, okay, so in the South. This man was there with his wife, this white man and the white woman, and they were like designing like a Trump card that they were going to send to their friends that they were going to go to this one rally in South Carolina or something like that. This man starts, first of all, berating his wife, okay? Like, she was typing it up and she wrote, like, Mrs. and Mr. and their names. And, when he saw that, he was like, no, the man always comes first, the woman is behind, blah, blah, blah. And he would, like, look at me and laugh as if I would approve of that, which I was like, first of all, bitch, like, I'm also a female, so you're being really sexist right now. Yeah. And then he started telling me this story of how Abraham Lincoln was gay. And that,
I've actually heard that.
Yeah, and that he went to this school of black boys, that's what he said, and he, told them all the story, and that Abe Lincoln was having sex with this, like, black servant, or I don't even know. Like, literally telling me this shit, and I'm just shocked that he's even comfortable enough to be telling me the story, and how the black boys started crying, and blah, 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 and basically to tell me, like, like, us white people are superior, and, like, Hillary Clinton is a fraud, and all this kind of shit. And he would, like, look at me as if I was gonna answer, like, oh yeah, you're right, like, I really believe everything you're saying. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, that was really shocking for me. And again, that was the point when I realized, like, wow, look at all of these, like, racist people really coming out of the woodworks. Not that they weren't before, but now they're, like, more comfortable doing it. But I've had some white people say shit around me like that, almost like I would agree with them. And it's like, no, I'm really the wrong white person to do that. So, yeah, it's sad.
And that's something that, like, I've dealt with, because even though I'm Panamanian, like, I look black. Like, the only time I ever get if I'm mixed is when my hair is done. So I have, like, really curly hair that a lot of black people don't have. So, like, I'll have black people talk to me and, like, disrespect Hispanics. And it's like, bro, you're not even knowing. Like,
you're an Afro-Latino.
Yeah, like, I hate shit like that. Because they think they're comfortable. I'm like, oh, yeah, we all feel this way because we're black. We can speak freely right now. Like, nah, that's corny as fuck.
Do you think that they think of Afro-Latinos as less than them? Because I have seen some stuff, like Love and Hip Hop. I don't know if you know Amara La Negra.
No.
Okay, well, she's an Afro-Latina, and she's very dark-skinned. She's super beautiful, super talented.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That was a girl who was hating on the light-skinned chicks, right?
I think so, but, well, I don't want to say I think so, but I don't really know. But I know that she has been vocal about being, like, a darker-skinned Afro-Latina, like, in the music game, and how maybe they're not shown as much respect, or they don't get as many opportunities. Do you think that that's true? You 100%. Being an Afro-Latino, like, has anyone ever...
Yeah, like, when I lived in Vegas, I hung out with all Hispanics. Like, that was my friend base. I didn't start hanging out with black people until... I always had black friends, and I never looked at it like, I didn't realize I had all Hispanic friends, just who I clicked with.
Right.
And then in high school is when I started, like, getting a lot more black friends, and they'd make fun of me saying I talk like a Mexican. And I hate, like, what does that even sound like?
Yeah, exactly. What does that even mean?
You talk like a Mexican. There goes his little Mexican accent. I used to get so mad. But I feel like I do have black friends that would make, like, Hispanic jokes. Like, I remember when Trump got elected, I had friends talking about, like, my family being deported. And I was like, that's a real life thing.
Yeah. Like,
I should smack the shit out of it. There's something to joke about.
Like, that shit actually not that funny shit.
Yeah.
But,
like, I've got it both ways. And then I've got Hispanic friends that would call me, like, negro. So I'm black. Like, I'm darker than all of them. But you've met my family. Like, I have Panamanian family who is as white as you. And I have Panamanian family that's as dark as Wesley fucking Snipes. Like, people, I don't know, people are just trash.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy. It's like 2019 and we still have these issues. It's like, come on. We are who we are. Our skin doesn't dictate anything about us. You know?
So, I don't know about y'all, but I've been curious to, earlier when we first started talking about stereotypes, you had something that you was like, oh, I think it's going to shift it to something else.
What is it?
So.
It was that. It was about big niggas having little dicks. But I didn't want the strictly sexual. That's an actual thing. Like, I mean, there's memes, there's porn. Like, if you watch...
So I've never really, like, paid attention to that. Like, that's a thing.
It's in movies, it's in TV shows. Like, that's a thing. It's 100% a thing. And maybe you don't notice it because you're not a big nigga, but that's something that, like, that's been a thing. And it's always been funny to me because I'm not even trying to like gas myself, but I don't have a little dick.
Listen, I was gonna say, listen, he's just trying to tell us he got a big dick. Okay?
We're talking about stereotypes, like.
But I mean, also I think, and I could be totally out of line with this, but like because of being bigger, do you think it like makes it look smaller? You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like to some people, yeah. Like, okay, I'll say that. So I didn't know. I promise you, I'm not trying to gas myself up in any type of way.
Whatever, just gas yourself up, boo.
No,
Hello,
I'm not
no
that
filter
guy.
here. It's fine.
I'm not that guy. I didn't know I had a big dick. I don't have a little dick gang. I didn't know I had a big dick until the first time I had sex. Because looking at my body compared to my dick, I didn't know it was big. I just thought it was a dick.
Yeah.
It was a normal dick. And then once I realized that, like after being told, and I've had.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, how did you realize it? Were you told?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Like I've had chicks tell me, like I did not expect that. I'm like, what do you expect? Like, and then they'll say, like, oh, like I always thought big niggas had little dicks. I'm like, I've been told that multiple times.
Well, that's nice that they were willing to still be with you, even thinking that you might have had a small dick.
Oh, facts.
That's
facts,
nice.
Facts. But like that's, I don't know. That's a stupid stereotype. That's a dumbass stereotype.
I mean, again, I think
Like
that's
all
why
Asian people have little dicks. Like, that's stupid as fuck.
Victoria, you ever seen an Asian dick before?
No. Unfortunately, I can't attest to what those things are. Sorry.
What do you imagine they look like?
Like a normal dick. I have no idea. I mean, I've definitely heard that stereotype. Like, yes, I've heard it, but I mean, I can't really speak to it, so I don't know. I mean, I think everybody finds someone that loves them no matter what. Like, I've been with someone with a little dick and it was the worst thing ever, but it wasn't Asian.
What's his ethnicity?
White.
They say white people and Asian people have little dicks.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt bad for him, but
Have you ever been with a black guy who had a little dick?
no.
Or another ethnicity?
She said no.
Have you been with another ethnicity that wasn't black that had a bigger dick than a black person you've been with?
No. No.
And that's when I hear white people like think they're superior, I think of like, we're stronger than you, we're athletic, we have bigger dicks.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be my
I
point
love
too.
that
It's
shit.
like the most athletic people
Yes.
happen to be
Are
African
black.
American.
Like all these sports that you watch on TV are black people.
Right.
Without us, sports would be boring as fuck.
Yeah.
It'd be very, very like. Can you imagine watching the NBA with no black players in it? You know how boring that would be.
No.
Yeah.
There would be no all stars. It would be trash.
That's facts. That's so
Football
facts.
without black people.
Yeah.
Like the only sport that would still exist is like hockey. Who watches hockey?
Yeah.
Like even if you want to get into it, like baseball, it's black and Latino.
And Latinos,
like,
yeah.
There's some. Oh, well, I'm not gonna say like a lot of amazing baseball players are white, but the ones that kill shit are Cuban, Dominican, and like.
Yeah.
So I hate when white people think they're superior. That's the dumbest shit ever. And I'm not saying black people are superior, Latinos are superior. No one's superior.
Yeah.
I think superiority is person specific. Like if I just happen to be black and I'm better than you at these things, then I'm superior. But then if there's a white guy who's better than me at these things, right now he's superior.
Yeah.
But to say a whole race, like that's dumb.
That's
Yeah,
just because
no.
people like that. Like it all comes from people. First of all, people love divisions. They love to categorize and separate.
And that's not bad. That's not bad. Clicks are.
But when you
Good.
do that, then you get to a rating of which one's better, which one's worse. Like I'll never forget when Pokemon Go first got all big and everybody was out, and then there was a camaraderie at first around we played a game. Then all of a sudden people were talking about, well, wait, are you Slytherin and then whatever the other
Harry Potter, my guy.
whatever they said wasn't it?
I was like, Slytherin, the fuck?
No, did they have something like that? Like what was the little
Gryffindor.
different?
That's
What was the little different names for Pokemon Go?
I don't know the names, but it's blue, yellow, and red.
No, but they had I thought they had a name for it though.
I don't know the names, but I know the colors.
He said that's Harry Potter, my guy.
They're yellow shirts.
But there was the division, and then which ones was better? Like, even like, I mean, it happens in a race.
That's just competition, though.
But it happens in a race. So, like, white people think they're superior, then they have, like, oh, you're trailer trash, or I'm this, or whatnot. Black people do it all the time. They do it against color. Oh, you dark skin, I'm light skin. Like, it's like within every race, you know. Even I hear of Hispanic people, they do that. They do it with the colors. Like, oh, you're darker Hispanic, I'm lighter Hispanic.
True.
So, like, it seems like not only do you have to battle another race as far as like who's superior or what class, and you get it inside your own race.
Right.
And that was the segue I was talking about earlier when you were talking about the Afro-Latina. And I think I know what chick you're talking about. She was mad because when it comes to modeling, they choose the light skin model. Or
right.
When it comes to using the chick in your video, they choose the light skin. Or she thought because she was dark skinned, people weren't listening to her as much, blah, blah, blah. And in that specific situation, I was mad because light skin, dark skin, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, her music just wasn't that good. But that was her excuse. Like, she tried to use that for her advantage. It's like, well, I'm dark skinned. If I was light skinned, y'all fuck with me. You'd be trash still if you're light skinned. But I feel like that is an actual thing. Like, do you remember the Tory Lanez thing where he had the light skinned chick in the video? Or there was a dark skinned chick?
Yeah, then he got
and they
mad.
swapped it out. Yeah. So even though that was fake, stuff like that does happen.
Right.
Like, when I'm not 10, I'm pretty light, and I know that I am accepted more in that sense versus, I can't say Armel because how he dresses and stuff, but if it's like, how can I explain it? Like, when I'm at my lightest and I'm dressed like nice, people look at you different versus when I'm dark as fuck and my hair is braided, I'm in sweats and a t-shirt, like that's when people are like on edge. And this corny as fuck. Like, I go into Whole Foods and I have this guy following me around the store, and I was telling Oscar, like, is he really like following us like this? Like, every aisle we go to, this guy's following me. So then I pull out my keys, and this one I had like 5 keys on my ring. Like, I don't need to steal shit in here, bro. It's, I don't know. That shit really pisses me off. Because I know, like I said, Armel is darker than me. Armel's always in a suit or dressed up and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So because he's dressed like that, he gets a pass. But if Armel is in sweats and a tank top and something like that, then he'll get treated different. And that's corny. Because I could be one of the smartest, richest people, and you'll never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Judge them. Judge a book off its cover, and it's.
I always think that's dumb to do in LA anyway, because like sometimes the most richest people or somebody in the industry or celebrity, they might be wearing some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? Or like I'll never forget, I went to a dealership with a friend. Actually, Walker was there too. And a friend was looking at the new Camaro at the time, and this friend could afford to buy this Camaro cash. He's a younger guy, you know, dressed in some regular clothes. And I talk about the salesman, Hispanic guy, by the way, too, disregarded the shit out of him. Just disregarded him. Like, he was like, oh, I want to drive a premium SS, like whatever your top of the line SS. He's like, nah, you should drive this V6, blah, blah, blah. So he drove the V6, wasn't feeling it, and he left, because he already had a Camaro. He had an older Camaro, and he left. Had that salesperson showed him what he asked for, he probably would have cashed it out that day.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And I was thinking, like, that's dumb. We in LA. Like, you never know who's who.
Right, exactly. So
like,
true.
I know, so my name is Armel the Realtor, but I'm a realtor. And I remember my sister's in town taking her to open houses. And some of those realtors was, like, seriously talking to my sister. My sister, like, I think she's, like, 27, 28 now. But she's like 103 pounds. Like, she's little, she's petite, she looks young. But they were looking at her and talking to her seriously because they don't know who she is. They don't know she got money to buy this $2 million, $3 million house, and they weren't taking no chances that she don't. So they trying to show her every room, and she was shocked. She don't live here, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's because here they don't know who got money or not. They gotta treat you as every opportunity or whatnot. And I think it's a shame that, you know what I'm saying, like, you would ever be followed around anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could look nice or whatever. That don't mean nothing. I just got on nice clothes.
Right.
And furthermore, just to continue on that, I know, I'm a darker skinned person. I've never really felt discriminated against being like dark skinned. I mean, some of my friends joke and say I'm a light skinned person trapped in a dark skinned person body. But like I've never felt like anything. I feel very confident. I actually like my skin complexion.
That's good.
Like I feel like that. So when I tan, I feel like I look even better. My skin tone looks more even or whatnot. I mean, I like
That's how
it.
I feel too. I'm like, I love getting tan. Like I love.
Well, nigga, that's because you white.
I know. But that's gonna be my point too. Is like he's like I'm more accepted when I'm lighter. Like usually darker skinned people want to be lighter, and I'm like, yo, I want to be dark. Like I want to be dark. I want to be tan. I like having a golden tan.
Ain't that crazy how that work? White people always tanning and stuff like that. White people getting like trying to get darker, spray tans and shit like that.
Because black isn't.
So let me just bring this up, and I'm not even saying that, but like a lot of features that black people like tradition in the past get made fun of. Like you think about what blackface was and people pay for those alterations to get a fuller nose, to get fuller lips, for the big ass. Like those are natural black attributes.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. That's so true.
Like a couple weeks ago, I went to my grandma's house, and I haven't seen my uncle in like a couple weeks before this, and he was like, I've never seen you this dark. And he started to walk away, and he came back, he's like, I don't like it.
What? That
He
is
was
so
joking, but like, this is the darkest I've ever been, and it's weird to me. It's weird. Like, I'm not dark, I'm not white, but you get treated different, 100%.
Damn. All right, so like I was just saying though, that it's interesting and it's nice for me to hear, the kind of experiences that you guys go through, because I can't and will never be able to relate to it. But I also remember like when I was younger and like even in my high school years and when I started getting jobs, because obviously I learned about slavery when I was a kid, I remember always trying to be like extra nice to black people, because I felt so bad about like y'all's history like in the States and stuff like that, and I remember always trying to be like extra nice, giving like extra service to them, like, and I've had some black people give me some flack for being white or whatever, but I mean never to the level that I'm sure you guys have experienced. Like I talk to my best friend is black, and I always ask her like, what kind of experiences do you go through, because I really can't relate, and I want to make sure like I would never give anybody that experience, but I just want to make sure that I'm fully aware of what it is that you guys go through. I think it's important that we empathize with you guys and hear about it and see, I don't know, what we can do to make life better for y'all. I hate even saying for y'all, as if our like some fucking alien
what do you mean,
species.
y'all?
Like, you people. No, you know what I'm saying? Like,
shit, that's stuff that like that's appreciated. Like that's weird.
I mean, the way I look at it, like, it just goes to your heart. You being a little kid and like thinking about like, your little kid mind probably was like, I want them to know that I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go out my way to let them know that I'm not that don't have nothing to do with me or whatever.
The white settlers, the colonizers. I mean, well, I really wasn't. Like, I'm a first generation American, but still.
What did Jordan say? No condoms forever.
Oh my God.
And that's terrible.
Yeah, that's a whole nother fucking subject. We could get on shit.
With what we were talking about earlier, it goes both ways. Like, I have a spot in LA that I'm not gonna say because I don't want people to like start going. But the patty place.
Oh, okay.
So there's been times it's a Jamaican spot and it's a food place, but they also have like healthy soaps and shampoos and stuff for black people, like products, love products and shit like that.
I think I know exactly what place you're talking about, actually.
That's on Slauson?
Yep, I've been there.
Okay.
They make like the smoothies in there too, right?
Yes.
The healthy smoothies are so
Number
good.
12 is the best.
Oh, I forget which one the number 12 is. I know exactly what place you're talking about though. And I love Jamaican beef patties, just so everybody's aware.
I've taken Hispanic women in there, and they get looked at so fucking dirty. And I get looked at dirty because I'm in there with Hispanic women when there's a whole bunch of other black men with black women. So it goes both ways. Like I've had like them be mad dogged. Like
really?
chicks mad dog them.
Damn, I wonder if they thought that when I've been in there.
Yeah,
Shit,
like the guys
I'm
will
white
like
as fuck.
side-eye me and like when they're taking my order, like now when they look at me, like it's corny as fuck. So it goes both ways. You get treated, but I feel like black people do it in defense. Like, we're treated like this, so we're gonna treat others like this.
Right.
And I understand it, but I don't agree with it. Like, it's treat others how you want to be treated, but at the same time, it's like, be the bigger person.
Yeah. I think that's harder for others.
100%. Like, I'm petty. I don't want to be the bigger person ever. In instances like that, it's like I'm not gonna get profiled and then go disrespect somebody or I don't know. It's 2019. I don't understand why these things still happen.
I know.
Trump that's like a big reason, but
That's
all.
I mean, it's not even just him. I think it's a whole lot of things. And, I mean, if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, like, it hasn't been that long since we stopped segregation and things like
yeah,
that.
because we still got people that's alive that remember that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's when I feel like it'd be long, where there is not a single person alive that remember a time when a particular race was literally legally less than them.
Yeah.
But right now, we still have people alive. And they may be old as fuck, but it's still like an alive thing. To just not get away from, you were talking about you go to the patty place. That's kind of a thing. Like, a lot of black women don't like to see black men with other races.
Yeah.
Which is
I've definitely heard of that.
Which is funny because, like, you think of shows like Scandal, where the main character was in love with a white man, and that, like, it kind of, like, made it cool, because there's a lot of hood black girls that watch that show, and it kind of, like, made it cool or acceptable or intriguing to, like, be with another race, but yet, still they don't like to see black men with, especially white women. So I kind of have a question. Like, have you ever gotten any like flack from any black girls from being with black men?
Not that I know of. Never to my face, but is it a thought in my head, like when I'm out with my men or if I was out with, like, you know, previous guys that I was dating? Yeah, for sure. Like, I know, I've heard about that, you know, or having that stigma, but I've never had, you know, a black woman come up to me and be mean or say anything. So far it's been, you know, pretty accepting, but I'm sure there's probably stuff said behind my back or where I can't hear or see it. But yeah, you know, it's sad because I love my man not because he's black. I love my man because I love my man for him, you know, and I would hate for someone just to look at you, not even know you, and hate that, you know, you're with this person.
It's so funny too, because, like, have you ever just thought about the amount of stuff that may be said behind your back? I mean, that's not just just period.
Yeah, in general.
Like,
yeah.
you know how much is said culturally, like how much is said behind your back. And I'm not even talking about just like people that you know, but even people that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you walk into somewhere, you walk out, like, what type of commentary is made, like, about you or something you said or how you dress or...
I feel like people's opinion about you is none of your business. Like, once you start focusing on shit like that, then, like, it just takes you off your game. Like, that's not important. Whatever they think is what they think. As long as you know who you are, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
No, and that's good. Do you think that's something that's probably wrong with our culture right now? Is that people are too focused on other people's opinion of them?
And that is why people don't post their true lives on social media. They post the good and not the bad. And that's corny.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, even I find myself being like overly examining the things that I'm saying or what I'm doing or how I'm portraying myself out in public that I probably would have never thought about in the past. Because, yeah, like, people are always, you know, like we said, trying to find reasons to hate on you or not like you or you were wrong for this or I don't like this. But, I don't ever get caught up in it. Like, I think about these things, like, you know, when I'm in public with, like, my man or my black friends or, you know, whatever it is, you know, it crosses my mind, but I don't think hard about it because I don't care.
For me, it never comes to mind until someone brings it up. Like, I'll post something and not care, and then I know, be like, oh, what did you think about how this person would feel about that. It's like
I'll
something I
swear
don't think
that
about it.
I'm his PR person, low key.
It's annoying. Like, that's one thing I'm being more conscious on the stuff I say and do because of like the people around me, and it's something I like and don't like.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like whether you look at it or not, but you've kind of started a brand trend, like Bruce Lightyear, or just the whole persona of Bruce. I look at it as a brand. It might be small, but it's something that's for sure growing. So I feel like that if you're doing that, if you have people that are literally like following you or looking up to you, you do have to be mindful of what you're putting out. Especially because
very small extent though.
yeah, it's very small extent, but like we're growing, and like you're part of. So me and Bruce have a business. We have a business partner named Walker too, but it's called Lavish Living, LLC. And I hate to put a little commercial in there, but it is a real thing of what we have going on.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, it is a real thing what we have going on. So kind of like things that we do, ultimately reflect on the brand. So, but I think even outside of that, I feel like we have each other's backs on what things may look like just for each other's personal growth and what we know. But I say that, for the most recognized person of how much they post and how many people look and comment is going to be by far his social media. Like, so I feel like that what he puts on there is important.
Yeah, I mean, there's PR for everything. I mean, think about it. Celebrities, actors, musicians, they all have a PR team because it can affect your work opportunities, your partnerships, your brand deals, your whatever. But I don't think that it should stop you from posting things about you and that are authentic and genuine to you. But, like, yeah, you do have to be somewhat conscious of your brand, like you said. That can reflect on your own personal brand, too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of dealing with right now. Because as far as my personal brand, like, you like me or you don't. Like, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. The majority of people are going to laugh at it or get... My favorite thing to say is it's... Oh, fuck, and I just forgot it. It's
not your favorite thing to say, shit.
No,
You can't even remember it.
I know what it is. Intention versus interpretation, because you always say that shit.
I literally always say that. Like,
I like
how
that.
you interpret it is not my problem or my fault. Like, if you take something the wrong way, that's on you. That was your choice.
Right.
I'm going to carry on and keep posting shit that you can continue to interpret wrong. But the people who know me, the people who really fuck with me, know that's not my intention.
Right.
I'm not here to make people feel bad. I'm not here to judge people or anything like that. If you feel that way, that's on you.
Yeah.
So, like, I do try to PC it up when it comes to the brand. Like, but when it's on my own social media, especially Snapchat, I post whatever the fuck I want. I have no filter at all. And that's one thing, like, I told Eric and Walker and Armel, like, when it comes to the stuff we post, like the YouTube and the social media, I don't want to be those super PC people. Like, that's not what I'm here for. If that's how we're going to run our company, then I don't want to be a part of it. Like, I don't want to, you can't say this on camera, or don't make that joke on camera. Like, that's corny. That's not real.
Right.
That's not real. Like, even if we did this podcast and, don't talk about this, or make sure you don't say this, and I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I feel like there's people who do that already. If you want to be sensitive, then go listen to the sensitive podcast, or follow the sensitive person on social media. Don't follow me.
And I think and the other thing to that is, like, people are always going to find something wrong with what you say, regardless of if it's super PC or not. So it's like, you might as well just, say what you got to say, and a lot of people probably agree with it, or keep it moving, or not agree with it. But it's like, no matter how PC you keep it, someone's going to be mad about something. So fuck it. So fuck it. Like, honestly, fuck it.
That's my thing. Like, one thing Armel tells me is, like, or he always says is, like, know your audience. Like, I know my audience. I know the people that I want watching my stuff, and the people I want to take things and be inspired by the stuff that I do. And I don't want sensitive people following me. You're just going to be hurt.
Yeah, like, you're getting your own feelings hurt.
This cat.
Like, I'm not here for that.
Yeah, and on top of it, like, my thought always is like those people that are always the first ones to call you out for saying this or finding the tweet from 10 years ago also say the worst shit and do the worst shit. Like, listen, nobody's fucking
They're
perfect.
just mad that they don't have the opportunities. Like, that's
Right.
cancel culture. I don't think is doing the right thing. I think it's all jealousy.
I
You have
100%
an
agree.
opportunity to host the Grammys. I'll never get that opportunity, so let me
Right.
go dig up some tweets.
Right.
That's
Yeah, because
trash.
somebody had to look for that. Like, how do you?
They do. They
You have to
do.
look for that. It's
That's
not
what
readily
cancel-
available. You
Right.
have to.
Cancel culture is
Right.
digging into someone's past and trying to find something to
cancel
cancel
them.
their blessings that they will never be blessed with. Like,
Right.
that's
As if
terrible.
people can't like change or make mistakes or
Facts.
time was different 5-10 years ago and
Like,
it's
the show
just
Kevin
like
Hart was 10 years ago.
I know. That sucked. And
10 years
he
ago.
really went like so extra on that, like apologizing for like weeks after.
And they wanted him to
Not
apologize
doing it.
again. Like, no,
No.
fuck you. And he did it. And I applaud that. That made me so fucking
Right.
happy that he did not come out and do a second apology.
No, he shouldn't have.
No.
Like, all you motherfuckers that are
Unnecessary.
asking for that apology have said the same fucking shit.
Facts.
You say the same fucking shit behind
he's
closed
a
doors, so
comedian.
don't act like
He's a
you are.
comedian.
You
And I
don't
think-
say
I got
anything.
lost in the whole thing is he is a comedian. That is his job
Right.
to say outlandish, crazy shit like that.
And I think that's important that you call out that he's a comedian because sometimes people like to double edge sword that and they use that for Trump. Oh, Trump, well, he's just saying what he speaks on his mind. Trump is not a comedian. He's our president. He's our commander in chief.
Right, like he should be diplomatic
His
and
job is
empathetic and
different.
compassionate.
If
and-
he was a comedian and he chose to say all that stuff, and mind you, even with him, I don't believe they're jokes at all. I believe it's how he really feels. These comedians is jokes. It is jokes. Their job is to trigger laughter and through various people, and that's why the jokes shift. They're jokes about different things. They shift around. A lot of these comedians joke about themselves. They're, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean they hate themselves or they're trying to talk about themselves or anything like that. It is made to make people laugh.
Yeah, and I think like you said, it's also like that's their intention. Like they don't believe really like Dave Chappelle doesn't hate all trans people or gay people. Like
No, and that's why
it's
he-
the joke, but like Trump or people that say that kind of racist shit, it's like he means that. Like
That's true,
he's
what he
really
wants.
saying what he means,
Yeah.
and it's fucked up. And it's as a president, like he's really in a role where he needs to be more compassionate. Like you're the one that's representing all of us, and like you're not doing a good job at it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just again, it's these keyboard warriors like sitting behind the computer, like
And that's
digging
my
up dirt.
favorite part.
Like,
Like-
bro, get a life. Do something else.
That's one thing. A lot of the stuff that is said about me is never said to me. Like, and that's one thing I've always loved. Like I was having a conversation with like some of my family and friends, and they were talking about like stuff that they've been told that like made them change or something. Like someone may say like, "Oh, I don't like this about that person," and they'll change it or stuff like that. And I really started thinking about it. Like a lot of people don't say stuff to my face. I hear it from someone else.
Yeah, same.
Like we were talking about like we recently started eating healthy and going to the gym and shit like that. And this was like when we were having that conversation. And my cousin was he's like a pretty big guy. And he's talking about like when he started losing weight, he said that he was tired of people calling him fat and looking at him a type of way. And I really thought about it. Like I never get that. Like I can't remember the last time someone called me fat or made a weight joke or anything like that. And damn, I forgot the point. 100%.
I was really following
Keyboard
along.
warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
Like a lot of people, I hear from someone else. Like our mom may tell me like, "Oh, so and so said this about you." Like, tell them to say it to me. Or how come they don't ask me about that? And this corny like Twitter
It
thing.
really
That's
is.
so corny. If you have
Right.
something to say about me, say it to me.
Yeah. And especially like at our age, it's like grow the fuck up.
Facts. So we're grown-ups. We're
Like,
adults.
Bitch, we're not 12 anymore. The same shit happened to me at work too. And I finally just had to go, I just had to go to every single fucking person in my department and just fucking tell them, like, listen, if you don't fuck with me, that's cool. But like, don't be fake to my face. Like, don't ask me how I'm doing. Like, I genuinely care about
Don't
all of
ask how I'm
y'all.
doing.
Yeah, like straight up.
I'm only doing me.
But like really, like don't like ask me about my life. Like don't like he in my face and talk to me like we're friends if you don't fuck with me. And like I don't need you to fuck with me, but it's like don't be fake. Like I don't like that shit, because when I'm here, I'm genuine. It's 100% me. Like you're getting all of me all the time. And it's like there was just so many things back to back, like hearing this and that, and it's like stuff that really could have been detrimental to, you know, my job. And at some point, like, it really was so negative for me, and I'm not a negative person at all. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm working in such a negative space with negative people. Like, I couldn't handle it. And I finally just had to go up to everyone's fucking face, because I was tired of it. And I was like, listen, I've known that all y'all been talking shit for months and months and months. I'm over it. I just want you to know, if you have a question for me, if you don't know if I'm here or there or doing this or that, like, just fucking ask me. I don't care. And if you don't fuck with me, cool, but don't be up in my face acting like we're friends. And that's it. Like, I was like, I want the same respect that I give you guys, and that's it. So like, this bullshit of us being over fucking 25 years old and people still talking shit, it's like, grow the fuck up. Like, do some yoga, meditate, like, get your life together, because this ain't it, sweetie.
I don't fucking know that. Like, I'm knows I'm quick to cut somebody off. Like, one thing my grandma always told me is play the game until you don't have to.
Love that quote,
and it's
by the way.
such a simple quote, but it's something that is so true. Like,
wait, what is it?
Play the game until you don't have to.
Oh, play the game until
and that literally goes to everything in life. Like, if I'm working at Best Buy and they tell me to do something, I have to do what they say because I work there. I have to play that game.
Yeah, right.
And then when I'm able to quit my job, fuck y'all. Like, and it comes to friendships too. Like, that's my thing with friendships. Like, someone will do something to me and I'll just cut them off. And I'm always like, oh, bro, like, remember they did this. Like, remember, and I always compare it to him. Like, yeah, that friend did this and I cut him off. Would you have done that? And they'll say no. I'm like, okay. So I have friends who don't do dumb shit like that.
Right.
So why do I have to play the game with this friend or this person when I don't have to? I don't have to be fake, and I don't have to tolerate things because I'm in the position where I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people who pretend to fuck with us, and then they make little comments and they get jealous about little things, and it's like, that's cool, you can feel that way. I'm still getting blessed. Like, I'm gonna keep going up while you're down here watching.
Right.
And that's cool, because you're not gonna say anything to me. I'm gonna hear that you said something to someone else, and they're gonna tell me, and it's like, that's cool. You're not saying it to me. You're not a man. Like, you're a coward.
And it doesn't affect your life.
It doesn't affect me.
It's like, we just keep moving. It's like, whatever. If y'all want to do all that shit, talk all that shit, that's fine. But like, I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna keep living my best life.
I love it. When I tell you, I'm petty as fuck. Like, I'm really, really petty. Like, when I told you the thing at, like, Whole Foods, I'll pull out my keys so you can see all these keys that are on my lanyard. So you can think that I'm gonna steal something in here, but I'm not.
Right.
Because I don't need to. And then I'm going to go outside and drop the top, and I'm going to drive past the door blasting my music, so you know I don't need to still, like, I'm petty as fuck. I get real petty. Because
it's necessary sometimes.
It's very necessary. Petty. It's very necessary. It's very necessary.
Petty is necessary.
Petty is necessary. Yeah, I mean, being petty is necessary sometimes. I just try not to get myself wrapped up into that shit, because, like, I'm really focused on me, like, what I want to accomplish with my life, like, why I came to LA. So it's like, I don't really have time for all that. Yeah. And, like, the people that are in my life, like, I trust them, I love them, and if they were to show different colors and show me that they weren't the type of friend that I needed, then, like you said, like, I would just cut them off. You know, it's easy. But I feel like my circle is solidified as of right now.
I'm getting there. I feel like my circle is being constructed right now.
That's good.
As of late, I've had to
pick some people out.
Yeah, but I'm
put some people in. It's like a team. You're like constructing a whole damn team.
Yeah, and now I'm like, people like, you sure you don't want to bring that person back? Nah. And then you got thrown further. Try to bring them back.
All right, guys, we appreciate your time. I know this is exactly a short podcast. It's around the time they usually be though.
Like, we thought 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, so we started talking. I love this chemistry though, because like the thing is that whether or not you realize it or not, we're really talking. Like, none of this was rehearsed, or we may have had a couple of key topics we want to touch on. We touched on some of them, but Like really, we just went with the flow or whatnot. And for the most part, we want to always try to keep it that way.
Yeah. Let us know what y'all think about the topics and also names of our
Oh yeah, what is this
podcast.
shit gonna
Let
be
us
called?
know.
If you guys have any ideas, please let us know.
Please let us know. We're open to
Or if you
suggestions.
like the ones that we said. What was it? Party of 3,
Party of 3, unfiltered,
unfiltered or no
no
filter.
filter.
Did we even talk about those on camera though?
I don't think we did.
Oh, we
I
did?
feel like we
I don't
did.
think
So
we did.
yes, it's Party of 3
Psych.
and unfiltered or no filter.
Petty podcast.
And we look forward to the next episode of the No Name Podcast as of right now.
All right, guys. Appreciate your time. See you next time.